never felt more accepted or free to be myself in a group than I did here.
How'd that make you feel when you read that?
Like, that's what it's all about. That's what we hope for. That's what we want. Just happy that someone was able to experience that.
Yeah, that's amazing. This episode is brought to you by Reliance Hospitality Global, where hospitality meets strategy. Whether you're developing your next hotel, need help navigating operations, or you're looking to increase profitability through our expert consulting and business process outsourcing services, Reliance has you covered. From boutique independents to full-service brands, we help owners, investors, and partners unlock value at every stage. Visit RelianceHospitality.com to learn more, and let's build something remarkable together. Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Check-In with Bryan. I'm your host, Bryan Fish, and I am here today with a friend of the show who joined us almost 12 months ago when we were filming out in New York. It was good to catch up with him in person then. We're virtual today, but it's as if we're right here together. I want to introduce Matthew Schueller back to the show. Matthew is a LGBTQ plus travel expert, creator, storyteller, was a MySpace connoisseur at one point, and he's done all sorts of things in the last year, and he loves travel. Told us a great story about a cow guy in Lisbon, which I think has been a great clip that a lot of people have watched. It was hilarious. No, Matthew, it's so great to see you again and to have you back and hear everything that you are doing these days.
It's so good to see you too and catch up. Yeah, I can't believe that was like a year ago that we did the last episode together.
I know. Time flies. Time just flies. It's crazy.
And what a cool time to to get back together and reflect on this whole last year.
So I know you have not had a shortage of things to work on. We talked the other day when we were getting scheduled that, you kind of had the same end of the year that I did in terms of travel, just going all over the place. In your personal and professional life, what's changed in the last 12 months?
Man, so much has changed in the last 12 months. Definitely. Around this time, we were getting ready to host our first group trip in Greece. And that was, we had launched our group trip program in January of last year. I wasn't really sure exactly how things were going to go, as a content creator, going on a trip with a bunch of people from your audience and people who know you from the internet. I just had never had that experience before and didn't know exactly how it would turn out. Going into Greece, it ended up being one of the best weeks of my life. I had the best time. I loved it so much. Other people did too. And it turned into this really amazing community. So I decided I wanted to do more and more of that. So we ended up launching 11 trips over the rest of last year and throughout this year. That's basically kind of been the biggest change is we really went from a focus of we're social media people to we're leading group trips.
So in this year alone, you have 7 trips that are planned and you've executed on 5 of them so far. So of those 5 that you've gone so far, what have been the most notable ones? Or is there one specific one that really stands out?
Okay, so first of all, Greece was so freaking fantastic from last year that we decided that we're going to do it again for next year. We designed a new tour through Naxos and Paros in coordination with the tour company that we led that tour with last year. I am having the exact same guide because he is by far the best guide I have ever had in my life. As far as group trip, individual travel, any kind of travel. I'm this guy, he is it. Malcolm, you're the best.
That's a high bar considering you've seen a lot of tour guides.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, he was on it and just so participatory. He really made the trip from something that was a good experience to something that we'll never forget for the rest of our lives. It was just the way that he just did anything and everything to make the day special and how he was so integrated in a part of the group. It was really cool.
Awesome.
Brought a unique experience. So love him. And we're also planning another Crete tour right after Naxos and Paros. So we'll be back to back. Have 1 week in Naxos and Paros and then 1 week in Crete.
Okay. And I just recently discovered Crete because of a diversion on a cruise that I was on.
And what did you think?
I was very impressed. We were supposed to go to Mykonos and we weren't able to. But I was shocked when I got to Crete. It's beautiful. The beaches are amazing. We did not have time to go out further into Crete, but I definitely think that Crete's got to be on a bucket list to get back.
Yeah,
to
do not
see.
sleep on Crete. It's incredible.
No.
Hospitality's out of this world. The prices are a lot cheaper than what you would find in Mykonos.
Much more affordable, because even like for Mykonos, for one night out, I mean, it could be a minimum of, I mean, we had a group of about 25 people. It was a minimum, I think, of like $16,000 maybe. And you're not spending anywhere near that in Crete. You know, it was one of those things, it was diversion, but then it's like, oh, look, we've learned a new place, but I definitely want to go back. So that's awesome to hear that from you.
Yeah, and then we had another highlight was Thailand.
Okay.
Loved it so much. Had an amazing guide. Decided that we're going to do that again.
Awesome. In Thailand, that's one you still have spots open for?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
got a few.
What are the sizes of the groups that you're taking out these days?
They range from 16 people to 26. 16 on the lower end, usually because of hotel space or activities are small group kind of focused. But I really, really like the spread from 16 to 26. It's both great numbers. You have a very different vibe from one to the other. The 16, you definitely get to know every single person on that trip. It's quite intimate. The 26, you like get to know everybody on the trip, but you can also separate and find your people and kind of have like your own individual interactions. And, you know, it's not big enough where you get lost, but it's big enough where you get to know a variety of people, find your people. And then, yeah.
Which is funny how like 10 extra people can bring an entirely different dynamic to the group. So
typically there's a lot more energy with 26 people.
I say now you've got that. I mean, with that, you've got a lot more personalities to manage.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's like a party.
That's awesome. So outside of what you've already like have planned, are there any other destinations that you're curating right now or that are on your radar that you haven't released them yet? Maybe you haven't even planned them yet, but you want to go.
Definitely. Really want to do Portugal. Really want to do Italy. Those two are super high up on the list, and they have consistently polled very high. Whenever I've put a poll out to ask people, like, where do you want to go? Italy, Portugal, those are on the top.
I mean, with all these trips, though, how do you feel like they've evolved? Because it's, you know, I think it was very different when you were starting out. You had a vision of where you were headed. Obviously, with anything else, you're going to pivot while you're rolling them out. So what has changed in the process?
You know, when we first started, I wasn't sure if we're going to continue doing it. I was kind of like, this might be a one-off thing. You know, we go enjoy it, love it, great. Okay, and that's it. But we were so inspired from the first trip and the experience and the people and just how energetic and wonderful it was. It was just like, oh my God, we have to keep doing this. So I think what's changed is our attitude towards the whole travel initiative. What it's been has been like a very impactful experience on our community and like our ability to connect with other LGBTQ plus people. For me, I'm not someone who's always felt like they've fit into any group, and especially within the LGBTQ plus community. Like, I'm gay, but I never really felt like I was gay enough or was this enough or that enough, or I could never be a part of the popular kids or something, you know. What we realized when we started to promote it as a space that people can join and belong in, you know, one of the big pillars of our trips is that we start the community building before the trip even starts. So everybody's added into a WhatsApp group, and we have the opportunity to get to know each other. We host Zoom calls once a month so that everybody on the trip can connect and talk. And these are people from all over the world. So you get a lot of different stories and a lot of different backgrounds. But
what's the farthest someone's traveled?
Oh, Australia to Iceland.
Wow.
Yeah. That's was a awesome. Long one.
That is a long trip. I mean, with that said, like, has that really opened up your eyes in terms of how large your audience really has been just on your social media presence alone?
It's opened up my eyes with how hungry people are for community. Working from home, I struggle with loneliness a lot. And I think ever since the pandemic, a lot of people have transitioned to working from home or having maybe just a slightly different lifestyle. But I think in general, like, the more connected to technology that we've been, the less connected we've been to each other. I mean, I've struggled to create and like have like really meaningful community in my city of Portland And I think that's been like a theme throughout life. Like even in college, university, I'd had trouble connecting with a group of people or feeling truly like seen. A big part of our trips is just trying to break down barriers and create opportunities for people to feel safe and seen and be able to connect with each other on a more just human level. That's what's really changed. It's not just about like having a good time. We're going out, we're seeing these amazing places, but like the whole purpose of the trip is to have like you have impactful experiences, I guess.
And the travel is what brings everybody together, right?
Right.
Like they all love to travel, and I get it, and I can totally relate to the whole not feeling anything. I think it's especially I feel like, and I don't even think it's really necessarily the LGBTQ plus community. I think it's probably all over the place, but it's when you are in a position where you don't necessarily feel like you fit in all the time, and I think you experience that as you're growing up. Like you get to high school, your friend group is a little bit bigger, then you go to college and you meet people that kind of align. But especially after college, I feel like it's much more difficult to make that community. And I totally understand why people struggle with loneliness right now.
100%.
Because, for me, I work from home the majority of the time. Well, I shouldn't say the majority of the time, but if I'm working from home for more than a couple weeks at a time and I'm not leaving, I start to, you get that feeling. It's like, I got to go see some people in person. So, but I do think that it's awesome bringing these people together. I mean, the fact that you had somebody go from Australia to Iceland though, that's amazing.
Always.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. Yeah. But it just goes to show that, the love for travel, the love for finding a community to be with, there's no borders there, right? It spans across the world.
A large proportion of the people who are traveling with us, it is their first time out of their country. Like, that's awesome. These are first time travelers. And that is really cool to see because this is their first experience of getting out into the world. And what I love is that after they travel with us, they're like traveling again and again and again. Yeah. And it's like now expanding your horizon and being able to be like, yes, this is something I can do. I think there's just so many barriers for a lot of people when you think about travel because it's a big, scary thing doing something new and going to a different place where you don't know anyone. And
100%. You have to have your passport, and there's all these horror stories about things that could happen at the airport. But it's actually not as hard as it's presented to be. But I mean, I think that's awesome. I mean, that would make, if I were you, and I'm sure you do feel this way because I can tell by the look on your face, it's like the ability to actually be that person to take someone out of the country for the first time is huge. Like to give them that experience and let them see what else there is to offer. And it's like a drug. Travel is like a drug though too, right? Like to your point, like when they do it once, then all of a sudden you start to think, well, where else can I go? Well, where else can I go?
For sure.
And your nerves calm down. You're more like, oh, I'm going to go visit that place. I'm not going to be worried about going there.
But how enabling and empowering is that,
Yeah.
To be stuck in a place where you might feel a little bit lonely. You don't have a big sense of community. And through the internet, through connecting online, you get connected to a support system that can help empower you, give you the tools that you need in order to get from point A to point Z.
Right.
And travel outside your country, see a new place, and all of a sudden you're doing something that you didn't think that you'd have the opportunity to do.
Right. Like, I think it's amazing that you're providing it for people because I think it's something, especially these days, that's needed. I like that you make it more about the community as opposed to just, let's get a whole bunch of people that are just in some club together. I guess in this case, we'll call it the LGBT club. But, there are group trips and travel that go out that it's, designed around a specific group of people, but it's more of just like a reunion or something. Whereas, looking at what you've been able to do, because community seems to be number one to you ultimately at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, our primary audience is LGBTQ plus, but we have lots of straight people join us on trips. So we're not exclusive.
It might be a gay travel group per se that you're going with, but this isn't, you're not making this about, hey, it's not a gay cruise. Like you're not going to go for a rave or
no,
of that. That's not the experience that you're providing. You're providing an experience completely different. I just want you to touch on that a little bit about, are there any preconceived ideas? And, the reality is like, this is totally different than what maybe somebody who's not been exposed to this thinks of as like a gay travel experience.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because for me, that is part of what inspired us to do this in the first place, was because for my husband, Michael, and I, our travel experiences, we've worked in content creation for years and years and years. And a lot of what we've done is photography and videography with tourism bureaus. And we would go on these press trips with other journalists, photographers, content creators, and we would capture a bunch of different things. But the point being, we would be together for 3 to 7 days. This group of strangers brought together doing an intense amount of activity, basically getting fully immersed into a whole completely different world. But we're experiencing all these new things together. And there's something about travel that really opens people up to be able to realize different things in their lives, connect on a deeper level. It just breaks down walls when you travel. You get vulnerable, you get uncomfortable, you go beyond your comfort zone and you do things that you didn't think you'd be doing.
100%. You'll zip line upside down through the jungle of Mexico.
I mean, it's just totally the nature of it because you're exposed to all of these different things. So for me, my most impactful and memorable experiences in life have all been through travel experiences. And a lot of the time, going on these group trips, I'm connecting with people that I have a very amazing, intense week with, where we're connecting on super deep levels where I don't even get that close to people back home that I've known for years. These are people, maybe I only spent a week with them, but I'm going to be friends with them for life and stay connected with them. So we kept having those kinds of experiences. And I was like, there is something about this kind of community aspect I'm not seeing necessarily available to the general public, the LGBTQ plus community, people my age.
The reason I wanted to make sure that we brought it up is I feel like it's, there are some stereotypes when it comes to travel that may be geared towards the gay community. It's like every other community. There's all sorts of different people and people want to have different experiences across the board. So
we wanted to present like an alternative option for people to belong in.
Like with the communities though that like you've developed, because these trips, it really is, you're building these small communities. I know that you've made connections with people that you've traveled with, but have you seen people within the groups also maybe they have been having those experiences of loneliness? They're making themselves vulnerable to go on the trip to begin with, but that they've left with kind of a new community as well, like that it's continued after the trip. And that it sounds cliche to say it, but I'm like, have you become the man to really give these people like a renewed sense of life when they go back home?
No.
I mean, I'm not trying to put you, I know you're not like the Dalai Lama or something, but I just am interested because you're bringing these people together and I can only imagine that you're connecting people that maybe would have not met any other possible way. And they've needed a friend and now they've got one.
I mean, to me, it's very logical. You have a lot of people who are looking for community and they decide to go on a trip, putting themselves in a vulnerable position, going out of their comfort zone and going out on a limb, doing something like that, making a leap. And when you put a bunch of people who have that kind of intention together, of course, you are going to come out of it with friends and you're going to know new people and you're going to do more things that you probably weren't necessarily willing or wanting to do beforehand, We have travelers who are traveling across the country to see each other. And I love seeing that. Like, I love getting pictures of so-and-so together, hanging out in this city or that city.
Yeah. And I feel like travel is one of those things that I just talked about last week. We've been on this Greece trip with destinations and we had taken this tour as a Virgin Voyages trip and we had fun. But the reality was like, I left it, having worked the trip, but I did leave the trip with a few things I took away, which was I remember why I got into the hospitality business to begin with. And then I did have some time to disconnect from the normal world on the trip. And it reminded me of why it's so important to take breaks throughout the year and go and travel and go, even if it's traveling to like going to like your nearest national park or something, have those experience, get out of your comfort zone, get out of your house, get out of your office, because it does give you clarity of mind. And you're able to come back. You're able to come back. Like I was able to come back to work this week feeling like, okay, I've got a plan. And there were some difficult decisions that I needed to make that I have been pondering for weeks. And all of a sudden it was so easy to make those decisions just because I traveled. So it's like, I feel like travel's the underrated mental health management tool.
Wait, yeah, no. I got back from Greece last year. Within a month, I stopped drinking. I took up salsa lessons.
Oh, wow.
I went and did laser hair removal. Yay.
I have stopped doing that because I just got so tired of that lady like telling me it wasn't going to hurt. And then I was like in pain in my face, but
you're like, no, this does hurt. Yeah.
This does hurt. Yeah, I know. And every time they were like, I only had it done on my face. They kept offering to do it other places that we won't discuss. But I'm like, if you think that I already think it hurts enough as you're going through here doing it, do not move that gun any further down. But that's wild. How did you pick up salsa dancing though? You went to Greece and then came back and you're like, I'm going to do salsa dancing.
Yeah. Well, I studied abroad in Spain a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
And a long time ago. And I loved it. I thought it was so fun. Yeah. And coming back, I was just like, oh my God, why did I stop doing that? That was such a good time. And I'm like, I wonder if there's any salsa lessons around where I live. So I looked it up and was like, there are.
Yeah.
I'm going to sign up for this.
Good exercise.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt empowered to make changes in my life that I felt positive about. And I was like, I need to do more things for me.
Now, you have been working on building a new business called Sidequest Travel.
Yep.
And you just launched this year, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Just a few months ago, the website went live.
So awesome. So I'm interested, just given the fact that you've gotten your group travel going, you've got Sidequest Travel now set up. What have you found to be the most challenging part of starting up a business? It's getting ready to scale it.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean there is the idea that, when you start a business, there's a million things to do. And if you're not doing them, no one else is. So I think, yeah, figuring out my boundaries of like where to stop has been probably the hardest thing to figure out. So I'm still working on that. A big challenge that I'm facing now is figuring out, who to hire and how to move forward with that, because I am a one-man team in this sense.
Right.
And in order to grow, in order to provide more services and to provide more trips for people to sign up for, I need more people. I need help. That's like where I'm at. I'm like, how do I go beyond myself? So just over the last couple of months, I've been starting to hire people online for just small tasks, digital work, where I can really just delegate this out. And I'm trying to build a network where I feel more empowered in that sense, so that I can free up this time, free up that time. And now I'm more capable to do this other thing, Right. So it's a learning process for me. I did not go to business school. I am learning a lot.
Yeah. I didn't either. I went to school for performing arts management. Here I am. So everything, all skills are portable. But with that, I mean, do you see yourself as the business grows? Do you still want to be on the ground going on some of these trips, or is your goal to eventually just be operating the business and having a good roster of individuals on the team that are taking these groups out on these trips?
Oh, absolutely. I want to be out on trips. That's why I fell in love with it. I'm like, yes, do more of this.
That's good to
hear.
So
I want to be on trips. I do not want to be on all the trips. I need to be home too.
Right. No, definitely.
If I'm constantly on the road, then that's a problem. So yeah, definitely need to find some kind of balance where I can do some trips and then have other people on the team that are able to take on those trips and do the hosting.
Well, I think the model that you've set up could be so beneficial to so many different communities of people. But even simple things, have you looked at doing any type of like themed trips, or even going to different segments within the demographics? Because I just feel like your model is very scalable across no matter what. Mm-hmm. Like, because again, like if we take it back to, we mentioned loneliness, that's something that's experienced in every demographic.
Universally.
So it's a universal thing. So have you given any thought to how you will scale from there too? Or do you want to keep it solely with a heart of being LGBTQ plus? Or
no, I don't want to be exclusive. And I think this is something for everybody. I think anybody and everybody should sign up for a trip and come with us somewhere, experience that kind of community. I think that there is a lot of room for growth with families, family travel. I think like parents are a group that experience a lot of loneliness as well, especially when, your lives are very tied up and split into a lot of different directions. And there's not as much time for yourself or for connecting with other individuals. That's something I hear a lot. And I don't currently have like trips set up to factor that in and to, really cater towards families with small children. But I would love to grow in that direction so that families could come on trips and connect with other families.
I could imagine as well. I mean, especially within the gay community, seeing how many people have families now and, they've got kids and stuff. I can see where that would be an amazing thing to add on in the future as well. And correct me if I'm wrong, you're on the parent path?
Yes. Yeah, we are. Yeah. Okay. Have been for like 3-4 years.
Okay.
Fun. Yeah. Surrogacy. Been working on it, and hopefully sometime next year we'll have a baby. You make it through a lot of steps, and then you have a setback, and you start over. We're the farthest we've been so far, and I hope that we continue down a nice path, and kind of also puts a little bit of a timer of like, oh my God, I got to get more help because. If a baby's coming, there's going to be a period of time where I'm not going to be traveling. And
you're like, I can't take the baby to Nigeria or.
I don't think I can take myself to Nigeria.
Now that I've said it, I'm like, I don't think you can take yourself to Nigeria, but you won't be going on a safari with the baby. So
no.
Obviously, like your life could change in the future.
Yep.
And so being able to adapt your business model so that you can see yourselves, because obviously you see yourself on the trips you're doing today, but if you grow your family, you probably don't necessarily see your whole family on those trips in the future. So you need to make some modifications and make them accessible. Right. So,
yeah, I mean, if we're able to expand to hosting families, which I really hope we do, then I would love to bring my family with me on trips.
Yeah. As you've started this business, though, what were your biggest fears when you decided to go ahead and take the leap to set up Sidequest?
Oh my God, I'm going to fail. Just in general.
Hey, that's fair.
Gonna tank. Yeah. Will anyone sign up? Will anyone like me? Am I going to be a good enough guide? Are people going to not have any fun? Are people going to think this is a bad deal? Are they going to think it's a waste of time and money? Just any kinds of doubts that come up in the head.
Which is fair. I think everybody has those thoughts at the beginning. So, I mean, do you feel like now that you've gotten into it, are some of those fears subsiding, or are you still kind of hold some of those back up in the back of your head?
Oh, I run anxious. So yeah, a lot of those fears, they still come up, definitely.
Yeah.
And we're a very new company, we're going into our second year of operating. So
yeah. A little advice, every time you feel like you have a setback, you just make sure you tell yourself, this isn't an end of the road. This is I just need to make a right or a left turn. And
I like that.
And you'll totally learn the things you want to do again, and the things that you're like, I am never going to go back there ever again. We're not going to repeat that. So are you starting to feel like very confident in the fact that you're feeling like, hey, look, I have my own thing now. This is going to be mine, and I'm going to make it what I want it.
For sure. Yeah. I feel a sense of ownership. Yeah, no, there's a lot of pride around the community we've developed and the experiences we've been able to foster. So
yeah, that's fantastic.
Just receiving the reviews and hearing from people about what they've experienced and how it's impacted them. I think that's the biggest motivator going forward.
When you've gotten those reviews back from those travelers, is there one particular one that kind of sticks out in your mind that kind of gave you like that validation of I'm doing the right thing?
Yeah, I'm horrible for like remembering everything word for word. I do remember one review that was along the lines of like, I've never felt more accepted or free to be myself in a group than I did here.
How'd that make you feel when you read that?
Like, that's what it's all about. That's what we hope for. That's what we want. Just happy that someone was able to experience that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just got goosebumps. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, exactly, because that's what you're setting out to do, and to have somebody tell you that, it's amazing. Obviously, a new year is right around the corner. what new destinations can we expect? Are you doing any collaborations with any other creators or any brands that might be helping along the way?
Man, we've so for brand wise, we've worked with Portland Gear, which is a local company here in Portland. They create clothing, different backpacking gear, things like that. So we've worked with them on several different trips to gift our travelers their amazing bags. So
That's awesome.
lovely backpacks, lovely crossbody bags. So been a big fan of that collaboration. And then going forward, I want to partner with a lot more LGBTQ plus companies to just, gear out our travelers, get them awesome stuff, be able to cross promote that on our social channels. For next year, we're working with a company called Out in Colombia, and we're doing a tour with them. It's going to be like our most gay-centric LGBTQ plus tour, that we've done so far. A lot of our trips are not super focused on we're doing a queer walking tour or this drag brunch or this or that.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of our tours are very ubiquitous and available for everyone, and just focused on common activities like kayaking and things like that.
Yeah, I don't think you're going on a queer safari. That doesn't seem like a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Makes sense.
Picture of it in my mind now. No, but the Colombia tour, we will have more LGBTQ plus focused activities. So I think that'll be a lot of fun.
And then are you working on any advocacy projects right now with any not-for-profit organizations, or do you have any partnerships set up?
We are working with a couple on our social channels for our Michael and Matt content creation.
Okay.
But we have not lined anything up yet for Sidequests.
Okay.
Very open to that though. That'd be lovely.
So if anybody's listening and they want to partner with him, reach out.
Yeah, please do reach out.
Well, Matthew, this has been fantastic. And I'm so excited to hear that it's been awesome. It's awesome for me to look at what you were planning on doing and then to see, because I've been following you online. So this last year, and we've kept in touch throughout the year. And It's been awesome to see how you've grown the plan and how you've executed the plan, because that's half the battle. Everybody can have a great idea, but it's if you can get the plan done. And the fact that you've been able to do it, and now you've set up your business and you're going to continue doing it and coming up with different ways.
Constantly shifting. Yeah. It just, evolves.
Change management is the number one thing in anything you do. Doesn't even matter what vertical it is. Change is constant. So
yeah. I tell that with people with content creation all the time. It's you just the platforms change. You just have to keep
doing it.
Keep going. Yeah.
And I think it's doing things that can just last and you can keep it up, because it's too many people try for a month or two and then they stop and they don't realize, no, you need to keep just doing it. Someday it's going to hit. I mean, we could do a whole other hour probably just on your advice in terms of how to be a content creator and, mistakes not to make and things to do again. But I think you are one of a stable of people that have found success in that field. And it's, and I always tell everybody it is a job. That is hard work. I think people look at it and they're like, it looks so easy, but it's no, there's so much time and work and effort that goes into it that it's not, I always tell people, it's those, 30-minute clips that you'll see of things that get posted online. And trust me, we don't even do anywhere near some of the stuff that other people do. But a 30-second clip could be a 2-hour or 3-hour ordeal to get done. So, it's like you're making a mini movie.
Optimistically.
Yeah. And then once you watch it back, Tyler and I we recorded some stuff in New York earlier in the summer. He sent it to me. We literally haven't used the material because I hate it. Somebody's begging me to get it, to release it, and I won't do it. So I'm actually going to go back to refilm it. But
oh my gosh, there was so much of that from when we were filming our podcast that there was material upon material upon material that I had spent hours and hours and hours producing, and then I'd get it on my phone ready to post, and I'm like, no.
So if I want to go travel with you, Matthew, where would I go to find your information?
Oh my gosh, so many places. But first, I would tell you to go to sidequeststravel.com.
Awesome. Yep. Sidequesttravel.com. And we'll put that at the bottom of the screen for everybody. And then
check us out on social media at Michael and Matt.
awesome. Well, Matthew, it was a pleasure having you this week. And thank you so much for joining me. And hopefully we get to meet again soon in person. I still need to make a trip to Portland. So
Yes, you do.
I'll make sure that I promise I'm going to make that happen before we see each other.
The fantastic weather is here, except for today. Ignore today. But besides today, really good weather during the summer.
Exactly.
So.
I mean, it's the Pacific Northwest. It's supposed to be fantastic, right? So awesome, Matthew. Well, thank you so much. And everyone, don't forget to check us out this Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Our Friday show, The Checkout, will drop everywhere you get your podcast or wherever you're getting this podcast to, and on YouTube. And then be sure to follow us on our social media channels at check_in podcast. And we will be back on Friday. And Matthew, again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. I can't wait to have you back.
Yes.
This episode of Check In with Bryan is a production of RH Media Productions, hosted by Bryan Fish, executive producer Tyler Alexander, marketing support provided by Sunny Tindler. Thanks for checking in. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss this week's Friday checkout coming this Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Reliance Hospitality Global Incorporated or any of its affiliates, partners, or subsidiaries. All content is for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be interpreted as professional or legal advice.